Things we'll need for the project: normal scissors, darning needle, 5mm or H8 hook, stitch markers. I use some pins, measuring tape so you can measure yourself. I will also post the table with the measurements in the description box so you can refer to it if you are making for somebody else. This is the yarn that I used. I used 2 full and some of this, so they come in 170 grams. I used 340 plus 40 from here, so about 380. These are the specs of the yarn. So Yarn Bee, Hobby Lobby, color mauve, 100% acrylic for medium, but I would not recommend it because it's a high peel yarn. It's very fuzzy, and if you will have to undo, it forms these little fuzzies, these peels, and when you are undoing the yarn, it tends to catch on it. So if you are not experienced, I would not use it. And even as an experienced crocheter, I would still not recommend it. Very high peel. I have a feeling like I will be using this peel eater for that garment forever. Yeah, use another yarn that is low peel, especially for garments. Other than that, it's very soft. I like it, but no, I do not recommend it for this project. I am planning on writing the pattern for multiple sizes, so if it's already posted, it's in the description box and on Etsy and Ravelry. Other than that, if you are ready, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell. Let's get to work. Let me show you the stitch first, and then we will go into the garment design. So the back panel, let's begin with it. Start with the slip knot. So the 11 chains will be the design for the border. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we will put the stitch marker into the 11th stitch. Then you will need an odd number in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. So the next 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That will be the other border. All right, now use your imagination. Border, whatever is in the middle, the other border. This will correspond. Now we have a total of 37, so we need an odd number. 11, 15, 11. Now for the design, you will chain plus 2, double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, into the 4th. And our first row will be double crochets in each chain. Very simple till the end. If you would like to, you can move the stitch marker into the stitch or into the double crochet. So I'm removing it from the chain and putting it into the double crochet so I know where it is. Actually, I will put it around the double crochet because I will need that stitch. And if you are less experienced, you will probably want to move your chain markers. If you are a more experienced crocheter, you can obviously trace them. So, and then I will continue adding 1 double crochet until the end of the row. This is what we're looking at. So the 11 from the left, the 11 from the right will stay in all and each size pattern, doesn't matter. The middle is the one that you will expand it to adjust for your size. Turn, chain 4, the chain 3 counts as a double crochet plus chain 1. Skip 1, double crochet into the next. Yarn over, skip 2, 5 double crochets into the next. 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 2, double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next. And here's your stitch marker, so it means that you counted everything correctly, and we took the 11 stitches for the design. Now you will continue until you reach the next stitch with chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next, all the way until you reach the next stitch marker. And here we are. Now we work the design. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next, yarn over, skip 2, 5 double crochets into the next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 2, double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the last. And everything worked out perfectly. If something is not working out for yours, you miscalculated. Starting with the same, chain 4, the chain 3 counts as a double crochet plus chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next. Or in the pattern you will have to, I worded it chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next 7. So that was the first to the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next, and we will repeat. So here's your stitch marker, so you will know that this is the block where the design will be. Now repeat the chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next, all the way until you reach this stitch marker. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next. So basically our double crochets will fall into the double crochets from the previous row. And I'm at the next stitch marker. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I repeated whatever was in the beginning right here. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next. So this one will fall into the third chain from the beginning of the previous row, but you follow the chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next. This is what we have. Turn, chain 5, the chain 3 counts as a double crochet plus chain 2. Skip 2, 1, 2, 1 double crochet into the next 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 2, skip 2, double crochet into the next. And now we can take a look. So we're again within our chain with the stitch marker. So we chain 2, drop this 2, and our leaf is getting smaller. Now we'll continue with the design in between. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next until we reach the next stitch marker, and from there we will repeat the design for the next leaf. At the stitch marker again and repeating chain 2, skip 2, 1 double crochet into the next 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll end with chain 2, skip 2, double crochet into the last. Again, check after yourself. It's going to be the third chain from the beginning of the previous row, and you're skipping the double crochet in the chain 1. And here it is. So obviously you're going to have to block it. When you are going to be crocheting, it will be shrinking. It might give you a false impression or a false size measurement, but when you iron it or when you steam it or when you block it, it will get wider, so keep that in mind. All right, next row, turn, chain 6, the chain 3 counts as a double crochet plus chain 3, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 double crochet into the next 3 double crochets or 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet into the next. Now let's see the section. As you can see, we're in the stitch marker on this side. There we go. So everything is symmetrical. Carrying on with the pattern, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next until the next chain marker. Got to the stitch marker, repeat, chain 3, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 double crochet into the next 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, skip 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet into the last. That will be into the third chain, 1, 2, 3. Again, if you don't have the symmetry, you probably made a mistake. If everything is symmetrical, then everything is correct. Turn, chain 7, the chain 3 counts as a double crochet plus 4, and you know probably already, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, double crochet into the next. So this one will fall obviously in between the 3, chain 4, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, double crochet into the next. This was the last section of this leaf. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next until the next stitch marker. Well, here you will know that it's this double crochet. Chain 4, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, double crochet into the next, chain 4, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, double crochet into the next or into the last. And this is the full repeat. So to begin the new leaf, you will turn, chain 4, the chain 3 counts as a double crochet plus chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next chain. So then you will have the 2 chains left, skip 2, 5 double crochets into the next, into the 1 double crochet. So again, everything is symmetrical and matches perfectly. 3, 4, 5, skip 2, double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next, and you are at the end of the section aligned with the stitch marker. This is how it looks like. Follow with the pattern up to here. chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next, skip 2, 1, 2, 5 double crochets into the next, and that next should be the 1 double crochet from the previous row, 4, 5, skip 2, double crochet into the next, chain 1, 1, 2, 3, perfect, skip 1, double crochet into the last, and this is the beginning of the next section. And now you will rewind the video where we did this row, the third, and you will continue repeating the same steps until you reach the desired length of your back panel. Whether you want to make a dress or you want to make a tunic or a top, crop top, doesn't matter. However long you want it from the bottom to the shoulders. Now let's pretend this was your last section. You will finish obviously with the tip of the leaf to make everything look finished. The last row, or not the last, but the row that will finalize the section before we will start making the shoulder panel and work the neck, we need to kind of complete it. So chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and we will put 1 double crochet in each chain and stitch. So here we had chain 4, so we will put 1 double crochet in each of the chains, and I encourage you to work into the chain, not around, unless that's how you prefer. If you would prefer to work into the gap, well, into the space, I like to work into the chains because it gives it more stability, and it's less likely for, well, it's not possible for the double crochets to move. So 1 in each chain and stitch. So the top row, the count of these double crochets must match the base, so make sure everything matches. And this is our hypothetical back panel. Now let me show you the front panel. The front panel is exactly the same measurement like the back panel, only this time you will need 1 extra stitch marker. See, I didn't undo everything completely because there is no point. I would still start with the same chains. I will still do the first row of double crochets, and I will still do the first section of the leaf part, and then we will start this border with the leaf. The reason you need the middle for this one, so whatever is in the middle, remember I did 11, 11, and in between I had 15, so the 8th double crochet is the exact middle. From here on, you will decide how many open squares you want to have. If you choose to have a closed front, totally fine. You will just carry on with double crochets, not skipping anything. 1 double crochet in each stitch until you reach the stitch marker, and then you will work the leaf design. If you would want to have some openings, then you will have to count how many open squares you want to have from the middle to the left and to the right. Make sure they are the same. So let's say we will leave, well, 2 is going to be too much. 1, 2, let's do 1. So that's your middle. It will be a double crochet, then we need to skip 1 double crochet. So 1 double crochet until you reach this one. You probably will need a few more stitch markers if you are a very beginner or advanced beginner. So you count from the middle to the left and to the right. So if this is double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, so then I will need to put double crochet here, and now chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, oh sorry, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next. And now you can see our middle has 2 openings. But this, whatever you're working, you're gonna have to work to the left and to the right from the middle. So everything is symmetrical. Or if you want to have 2 openings, double crochet, chain, skip 1, double crochet, skip 1, double crochet. So let's try. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next. Perfect, we're in the middle. And 2 to the left, chain 1, skip 1. Now we have 4 squares. Then 1 double crochet until we reach the next stitch marker. And you already know the design for the leaf. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next, skip 2, 5 double crochets into the next, 3, 4, 5, skip 2, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the last. And this is what we have. And like I said, it's up to you whether how many of these you want to put in the middle and whether you want or not, or this would be a plain double crochet. So your front is completely closed or covered. So chain 4 counts as a double crochet, chain 3 counts as a double crochet, plus chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet into the next 7, same exact what we did for the back. Trying to keep the designs simple and kind of repetitive, so you can watch a movie and crochet. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next. So completed this section. Then 1 double crochet, either until you reach the next section or until you reach these openings, the ones that you chose to have. And now you will continue with the pattern. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the next, chain 1, skip 1 into the next. This way our front will match a little bit the back and kind of make both panels talk. But again, if you choose not to have the leaves on the sides, are pretty, I don't know, that I think the design will look cohesive either way you go. And now we'll carry with the with this pattern to finish with the leaf. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the last. And now you can kind of see. So you already know how to make the leaf design. and this is how the front would look like. Now let's take a look at the actual size. So this is the back panel. I have 9 repeats of the leaf, so you kind of have an idea how long it is. And well, I ironed it, steamed it, so I actually was aiming for 21 inches width, but ended with 20 and a half, so that will be 52 centimeters. And for the height, well, this will be totally up to you, but I have 19 inches or 48 centimeters. And this is the front panel. Here this is where I ran out of the first skein and started the second one, but this is how it looks like. This will be the right side. So how I choose the right side or the wrong side, I prefer the base row, the double crochets, to be turned towards me with the right side. So even though this one ended on the wrong, the bottom will be the right side. So this is my front panel, and as you can notice, it's one leaf pattern less. So I have 8, obviously because we need our front panel to be a little shorter than the back panel because of the neck opening. And this is not blocked or not ironed. And here we have the panels, one on top of the other, with the right side towards me. When you are going to be connecting them, obviously you will turn them with the wrong side towards you so you can sew the sides. So for here, I will need to measure the shoulder, well, how much you want your head opening to be. And because they are exactly the same, your stitch markers will fall exactly on the same, into the same stitches. And then once you mark the shoulders, you will want to mark your sleeves, how long you want or how deep you want your arm side to be. And it looked like, for my measurement, I counted 27 in and put the stitch marker into the 27th stitch from the right and from the left, and the opening will be 9.5 inches. Yeah, 9 3/4, or 24 centimeters. Now I will add the shoulder panels. So basically, it's just an intimidating term. I will let me see. So all I'm gonna do is add double crochets on top of these double crochets, and it really depends how deep you want this to be. For me, I think one row will work. I will probably do it and try it on probably maximum 2 rows. No, one will work. So chain 3, double crochet into the next, and 1 double crochet up to the chain marker, and the last one goes into the chain marker. We can remove this, and this is what we have. So now, instead of cutting the yarn and moving into this chain marker, I want to kind of round it, like make it a scoop neck. So double crochet here. Into the next we will half double crochet, and into the next we will single crochet. And you can either slip stitch your way. I think I will slip stitch my way to the next, well, not until the next stitch marker. So we will have to step away. So this will be a double crochet, then a half double crochet, then single crochet. So our last slip stitch will be like 2 away into the 3rd. Let's put the chain and slip stitch up to the 1st stitch marker, single crochet into the next, half double crochet into the next, double crochet into the next, which is into the stitch with the stitch marker, and then we'll continue with 1 double crochet until I reach the end of the row. Oh, let's redo this one. So double crochet, let me add another double crochet so you can see the scoop. There we go. And this is how it looks like. So 1 double crochet till the end. And this is it. I try to avoid cutting the yarn, so I will leave this for now. All right, now you align your front and back panels next to each other, leaf by leaf, stitch by stitch, row by row. My difference is 6 rows, so I will need to add 6 rows to this, whatever I have already existing. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to make this since I have 6 to work on. Then I can round it out separately. So back and forth. So both my panels have the same exact amount of total rows. You do the same for yours. And same thing, I marked the 27th here and the 27th from here, so the width of the panels matches, so when we sew them we have the exact amount of stitches. Once you are done with the shoulder panel, make sure this row is turned with the right side up, and then join in the next chain marker. So I had a slip knot here, chain 1, pull tight, chain 2, and double crochet into next, and double crochet into next. And same thing here, you will go back and forth for this panel to obviously have the same amount of rows as this one. Now line up the front and back panel with the wrong side up and match the shoulder panels, and we will sew them. So I'm assuming you've left the tails. Let's use the tails and sew it together. If you like to use slip stitches or single crochets, go ahead and do what you like. I prefer to sew, so I have the tail of this one, and I will use the 2 loops from the double crochet and go through the 2 loops of the first double crochet, and I'll just use the whip stitch. Very simple. This way it's less bulky in my preference. And just like that, because we had the same amount of stitches, this should be enough. So this is the wrong side, and this is how it's going to look on the right side. It's not too bad. Next step, with the panels the right side facing you, let's work the neckline. So join somewhere in the back through both loops, and chain 1. So now we will work slip stitches into the back loop only until we reach this panel. And plus, having the slip stitches from, when we did the first time, this one will look really nice. It will be like a thicker border. I think it looks really good. And now we will work so this was the single crochet. Actually, I'm gonna work through both loops here. and this was another. Now we turned it the other way, and let's try and put 2 slip stitches into each leg of the next double crochets. So we had a chain 3 here, so I'm gonna use the 2 loops of the sections and put slip stitches. If it's easier for you, you can try and shoot for single crochets. That will look pretty as well. I really don't like this yarn, but I prefer to do slip stitches since I already started with slip stitches. And as you can see, the double crochets have these 2 loops. Oh, this is gonna be a struggle. Yeah, and keep going, adding the slip stitches and making this edge look finished. Well, not too even, but maybe when we block it, it will settle. I'm tempted to go back and undo this. And now we will flip it and do slip stitches along the edge. So all the way around until you reach the back. Obviously working on this side is much easier because the loops are defined. Not too bad. You can see, even though it's not perfect here, you still can see how finished this side looks versus this one. And I went a full circle around. Same here, slip stitch into the first, chain 1, pull along tail, cut off the yarn. Work the tails however you like. Now we will flip this with the wrong side up. And what you are going to do is you are going to put it on through your head, obviously, and put the stitch markers where you want your sleeves to be. Once that's marked, you will sew either from the top down, bottom up, doesn't matter. Sew the sides, leave the sleeve openings open. I use the same technique, the whip stitch. Just like it better that way. If you wish to leave slits, choose how many sections you want. 1 leaf, 2 leaves, up to you. I would go with 1, probably that would be enough. Well, if your waist is tighter and you're curvier, probably go with 2. This way it will sit a little better. And here we are. These are the sides. Obviously, when I iron it or steam it, it will look much better. I did not leave any slits because it's pretty wide. It's actually oversized for me. So yeah, one thing left are the sleeves. So I tried it on. I think only 1 row of single crochets around and probably another, not row, round. So a round of single crochets and a round of slip stitches will do it. If you want to make long sleeves, just refer to any of my older tutorials. I show how to make long sleeves. Any tutorial really, I kind of work my sleeves in rounds, pretty similar. All right, let's go ahead and actually work the edges on this one and we will be done. Garment turned with the right side up or towards us, and we will join in the armpit so we don't have any joins anywhere in a visible place. Long tail, slip knot, and so this is the seam. I will not join in the seam, I will join into the leg of the double crochet. So single crochet into the space, and I will actually put single crochets around the legs of the double crochets. I will not work into the stitches. I just want this to be easy and stress-free. Okay, so if you would like to kind of gather the sleeve, do 2. If you would like to for the sleeve to be flared, do 3, but it's up to you how wide you want your sleeve to be. Before you reach the seam, this is the seam and these are the 2 rows of double crochets. What I want to do is single crochet around the leg, then single crochet, well, let's do 3 unfinished single crochet. So insert the hook into around the leg, pull up a loop, insert the hook somewhere into the seam, somehow find the loop and pull up a loop, and insert the hook into the next leg of the next single crochet, double crochet. So you will have 4 loops, yarn over, pull through all 4, and this gave us the 3 single crochets together, and put the next single crochet into the same, and now it will look good and it's not gonna be bulging or anything. And then you will continue with 2 single crochets to the next leg, around the next leg, and so on. Let's see. Yeah, see, it kind of gathered it. And to finish it up, so I put 2 here. I'll put 1 single crochet into the seam and slip stitch into the first one. Where is it? Right here. And this is how it looks like. So now it's up to you if you want to add another round of single crochets. I will add another round of slip stitches. So I will not be flipping. Usually when I work the sleeves, I like to flip like this and work from the inside. But because I want everything to be towards me on the right side, I'll just keep working the round. So chain 1, and I will slip stitch actually into the back loops only. This way we will repeat what we have around the neckline, and they will both correspond, or they will match. And this way the garment will look complete. So all the way around slip stitches.